Hi, my name's Rick, and welcome to the Warriors Respite podcast. I am a licensed clinical social worker, substance abuse counselor, meditation coach, IRS coach, certified in trauma, mindfulness, a lot of certifications, a lot of training. The reason I went on this path, probably the reason a lot of people went on the path, is not only do I want to help people, but I want to end my suffering. I've been sitting with something lately that sounds simple, but the more you look at it, the deeper it goes, especially as I go on this meditation journey. Resistance to pain, is suffering. Now, I've heard this a long time ago, especially working in a mental health unit, that pain plus resistance is suffering. Pain plus non-acceptance is suffering. It's not just an idea, it's something you can feel in your body. As you become more aware of what's going on in the body, you become more aware of the resistance that's happening. Now, as far as iRest goes, I've been doing this for 2 years now. First heard about it 6 years ago, maybe 7. Been doing yoga since 2010, social worker since 2016, been in mental health since 2009. It's taken a lot for all this to really come together and resonate. Every time I learn something new, I get aha moments, but life is up and down. When I get the aha moment, it feels good for a bit, then I reach a low point. I suffer. People tend to run away from pain, but if you run away from pain, you don't know what the body needs. If you work on slowing down and paying attention and becoming more aware and mindful of it, pain isn't just pain. Suffering isn't just suffering. There's a layer underneath it. Sometimes I'm bracing. I noticed a long time ago with all the trauma I've had, I was walking around like this with my jaw tied all the time. I was literally walking around like that everywhere. And I realized when I was a kid, someone threw us, or I got hit with a softball. But right before I got hit with the softball, I clenched. I shrugged my shoulders. But if you notice with pain, whether it be emotional or physical, you tend to be bracing like that, like you're about to get hit with a softball. Just a tightening, a holding, maybe a subtle contraction. It's like the body is trying to protect you from something. When we're talking about emotional pain, it's like the body's trying to protect you from something externally, even though the pain is internal. And when I stay with the bracing, it starts to feel less like a muscle and more like an emotion. The body is holding fear, protecting vulnerability, shame, something unfinished. It's not just there's pain, it becomes a sensation, bracing, an emotional charge. It's all happening together. Yoga philosophy has models that maps this reality well. One model I like to use is the koshas. They're layers of your experience. Other people might use Ayurvedic doshas. Not to say I don't look at that, but the koshas seem to be a well-rounded dimensions of our wellness. If you ever looked into health studies, health sciences, there's what's called the dimensions of wellness. The ancients did this a long time ago called the koshas. There's a physical body layer. That's a sensation. I'm not going to get too technical about the language. It's just basic stuff. There's the breathing, the energetic layer, flow, tension, patterns. It's where bracing lives. There's an emotional layer, what it feels like, what it means. What becomes clear is the emotion isn't separate from the bracing. It's being held by it. And there's other layers, wisdom and bliss, pure joy. And then let's talk about awareness. It's a part of us that goes unnoticed, but it's the most important part. It's the part that does the noticing. How much time do you take a step back and notice that there is noticing? And this is what practices like iRest and meditations teach. So noticing that there is pain. Pain is an awareness, but as you become more mindful of the pain and study it in awareness, you notice there is bracing. You notice there's emotion, and I'm aware of it. At first, it feels like I am the one noticing, and that's important because it creates space. It helps the nervous system settle and lets you feel without being overwhelmed. You keep going. Something subtle starts to shift. The pain happening, bracing happening, emotion happening, and thoughts. I am experiencing this. I don't want to feel this. It's just happening. What we want to start with, if everything is happening, who is the I? Who is I? So this is where we're talking about non-dual insight. If I take off the label I, there is just noticing and awareness. This body holds the emotion, holds thoughts. It is an experiencing that is happening. So what we call misidentification, it's not actually a person making a mistake. It's just a thought that's arising. This is me. But then there's the awareness of the thought. Misidentify from the thought. There is the awareness and there is the thought. When I say I am stupid or you are stupid, identification happens with the thought. If I say I am anxious, I am depressed, identification happens with it rather than just anxiety is an awareness. Depression is an awareness. Notice how I don't say my awareness. It's just in awareness because the my and I are concepts, created concepts to help identify. So we are misidentifying. So let's say there's a character in a movie. The character saying this is happening to me. But it's all just a movie. And then there is the screen. When the movie leaves, the screen is undamaged. The thought is the movie. Awareness is the screen. When the thought leaves, awareness is undamaged. When the emotion leaves, when the sensation leaves, awareness is undamaged. And this connects back to the body. When you feel the bracing, it can feel like this is me. This is the core of it. If you stay with it, you might notice it's not solid. It's moving. It's changing. It's pulsing. It is just a sensation arising in awareness, sometimes without trying to change anything. There's a sense of space, like everything, pain, bracing, emotions, thoughts, sensations. It's being held in something bigger, the body. This is described in yoga as deeper layers of experiencing. But eventually, those layers start to dissolve. Emotions dissolve, thoughts dissolve. This isn't a stack of separate things. It's a continuous field of awareness. Thoughts appear and dissolve. You have the sky and the clouds move through the sky. The clouds don't stay clouds forever. They eventually rain and dissolve, but the sky stays the same. You might have storms. You might have hail and tornadoes and lightning, but the sky is undamaged as everything, the weather patterns move through it. The sky doesn't resist. It allows the movement through it. So let's get back to the idea of koshas. It's not just a philosophy. It's something you feel happening in real time. In the moment, there's discomfort in the body. Maybe it's tightness, pressure, pain, throbbing. That's the physical layer, but you stay with it. You might notice something else. The body isn't just feeling, it's doing something. It's tightening, it's holding, it's bracing, organizing itself around protection, then moving into the pranamaya tosha, pranayama, energy body. This is really important because most people think they're feeling pain, but what they're actually feeling is the body's response to pain. When you breathe, the body responds to the breath, lowers the nervous system, creates calm and safe. Staying with it and breathing. You see, there's something inside bracing, being held, but when breath appears, exhaling just a little bit longer than that inhale, bringing safety to the body, allowing awareness to be more spacious over time, you can learn to allow the experience to be. And there's the Manomaya Kosha, which is the emotional layer. It might show up as fear, sadness, again, vulnerability, maybe something you can't even name. And you don't need to name it. These aren't separate. It's not body, energy, and emotion. It's all happening at once. The body tightens, energy contracts, motion is held all in one movement. Instead of getting lost at it, begin to notice it. You feel sensation, producing emotion, something, and you recognize this is being experienced. Watch the movie, be the screen, watch the movie. This thought of this is being experienced, this is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. I probably pronounced that wrong because I'm American. It's the knowing, the witnessing, it's the thoughts of all of this is appearing. And it show up as I am the one feeling it, or I am the one noticing this. Stay with the thought. If you don't rush past it, something even more subtly happens. Spaciousness. It's not something you create, it's something there around the thought. The thought is another cloud moving through the sky. Pain, bracing emotions, thoughts, breath, all that's happening. The breath is going fast, maybe labored. Then there's the Anandamaya kosha, aka the bliss. Nothing needs to be different. An underlying okayness. Even if discomfort is present, there's still some okayness within. But even these ideas of layers start to break down. Maybe you start to notice the body isn't separate from the energy. The energy isn't separate from the emotion. The emotion isn't separate from awareness. It's all just one continuous field, experienced in different ways. Koshas aren't stacked like layers of an onion. They're just sensing the same experience in different ways. The wisdom senses the experience differently than the physical and the emotional. So you go from observing to recognize that there's no real separation at all, but you misidentify, become, or notice that there's just the field of awareness. When you feel the bracing, you're not moving through layers. The body, the energy, the emotions, the awareness, it's all experiencing the same thing at once. You're just going through these different layers, recognizing the experience, and even the thought of, I am the one that's aware of this, begins to soften. What's left? Sensation, contraction, awareness, not separate. So we're just really just discussing a map, really helpful one, especially in practice. The map doesn't point to something that is divided. So next time you're feeling suffering, explore, where is it physically? How is it moving or holding? What emotion might be there? Is all of this already being held in awareness, just to feel it more cleanly and clearly? Because the more clearly it's felt, the less separate it becomes, because it's the body's natural instinct to become separate from the suffering, from the pain, I should say. Trying to become separate from the pain creates the suffering. And that's where the real shift happens, not by changing anything, but seeing what's already here. You're already whole. You're already good, but you can't see that because you're busy resisting. So we're learning to just be in awareness. I want to thank you for stopping by and spending time with me on this complicated discussion. Namaste.